Hello everyone, I'm Dave from SaveDex.
And I'm Sophie.
And we've put on a bit of a discussion video here about what Nintendo are going to be doing for the rest of 2020.
Yep.
So basically the other day I saw on Nintendolife they had a list of the scheduled games and there are only 6 of them on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a link to the article in the description down below. So the games they've announced that we're getting this year, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles on the 29th of May.
And you're excited for that one.
I am looking forward to that one, yeah. So we've got Clubhouse Games, the 51 Worldwide Classics on the 5th of June.
Mm-hmm.
Bravely Default 2 in 2020, sometime this year.
Yep.
Bayonetta 3, no date on that.
Nope.
Metroid Prime 4, no date on that.
Nope.
And the Breath of the Wild sequel, no date on that either.
Sad times.
So this is looking pretty, not very much there.
Yeah.
And it's understandable why it's a...
Yeah, because of everything going on.
But today on Nintendolife, I'll link to this article as well in the description. There's a quote from the Nintendo president, Furukawa, who says that they are working on things. There are still things in the works that haven't been announced yet. He says that many of their workers are working from home during this time, and it's obviously very different working between home and the office. He said it will be increasingly difficult to release the games in line with their current schedule if the situation is prolonged. And as it stands, they're forecasting as if the games are according to schedule. So based on the quote that I sort of paraphrased there, they had been working on games to be released over this summer, but they haven't announced yet.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're having to push them back, which again, understandable completely. So all we can do really is just speculate on what Nintendo could bring us this year still. Now remember this time last year, we had E3 round the corner. Obviously we're not getting E3 this year.
Yeah,
it's rumoured, I don't think it's confirmed, but it's rumoured that Nintendo aren't even going to be giving us a direct next month, but they could announce things in other ways, possibly. But last summer we had, from June to September, quite a few big hitters.
Yeah.
We had like Mario Maker 2, we had the Marvel game, we had Fire Emblem Three Houses, Astral Chain, which was published by Nintendo, we had Link's Awakening, we had that Demon X Machina game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a lot. There's probably some that I haven't said either. So imagine if something like this had happened last year and those games had to be pushed back, and say instead of getting them from June to September, we got them from September to December.
Yeah.
So if they'd had games of that calibre planned for this summer, but they obviously didn't announce them because of what's going on and they had to be delayed, getting games of that calibre for the autumn months up to Christmas would still be a strong holiday release.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, and it's not all doom and gloom here, we could still be getting a strong holiday release. We could still get a few good games out by then.
Yeah.
So if we're going to talk about what games that we could be getting this Christmas, so it's obviously we had that rumour that the 3D Marios are getting remastered for the 35th anniversary.
Yep.
Now, if they were planning that for this summer or September, then it is realistic that we could get it at Christmas, and they would be big Christmas games, definitely. But we'll talk first about these TBA ones. So Bayonetta 3, what do you think of Bayonetta?
I watched you play it, obviously, and I quite enjoyed watching you play it because it was funny.
It's a lot of fast-paced action.
Yeah, it was more because she's like sexy witch.
Yeah, you like that sort of thing.
No, I don't like that sort of thing. It's just because it's funny that she's like so action-fueled, but she's got ridiculously huge chest and long legs and arms.
Like over the top.
Yeah, it's just over the top. It's like Lara Croft.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and it's a strong female protagonist as well. We like
but
to
it's
see
ridiculous because the proportions are just
definitely
way off.
exaggerated. yeah, definitely. And she's in Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
that counts
exactly.
for a lot, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about Bayonetta, it was announced. Bayonetta 3 was announced at the Game Awards a couple of years ago, like 2017's Game Awards that December.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been like 2.5 years nearly since they announced that game was coming.
Yeah.
And I thought after Astral Chain came out, they might start to talk about it more then, but they still haven't. So that game has been in development for a long time now, so it could come out this year. But again, maybe it's been delayed though to next year, but we'll see. So Metroid Prime 4, speaking of strong female protagonists,
Yep.
that one I don't think we ever had the hope of seeing that this year, because it basically got announced in E3 2017, so which was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But last January, I think it was, Nintendo came out and said they weren't happy with how it was going, so they canned it and then restarted it.
Oh, okay.
And brought retro. So it's assuming they restarted it when they said,
Yeah.
then it's been in the works for like a year and a half now.
Wow.
So that will come out next year at the earliest, possibly the year after now.
Yeah.
And then Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yes.
I mean, I know you're excited for this one.
Definitely.
That trailer was amazing.
It is so good and mysterious. Mysterious.
Yeah. Basically, it's been nearly a year since we saw that trailer now.
I know.
Yeah, like, exciting times.
Crazy.
One of our first videos on this channel was us reacting to it.
I know, that
So,
music.
Yeah, just eerie.
Yeah.
So, but again, we don't know if it's going to reuse the assets and the world of the first one.
Yeah.
Then it should be a shorter development cycle than the first one had.
Mhm.
But we don't know like when it was actually started, because if it was only started just before E3 last year, then there's still a ways to go. But if it had been in the works for like 6 months or something before, then it could come out next year maybe.
And also, like, the timeline, does it happen straight after, or
We don't know.
Yeah, because like they may have rebuilt. I mean, obviously it would take a ridiculous amount of time to rebuild Hyrule, but
Yeah,
you know.
I would like to see Hyrule more populated this time.
Yeah.
I mean, Zelda's had time to have a haircut, and you know, sometimes queuing up for a haircut and stuff can take a long time.
True.
So it's been at least that long. You know how long it sometimes feels when you're having a haircut.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been between.
Too long.
Yeah. She had
Small talk.
She had been growing it for 100 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It was quite long.
yeah. So there we go. So talking about the games that we know are coming out soon, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition the end of this month. So basically, if it's looking kind of scarce, this release schedule, obviously we're only talking about Nintendo's output, we're not talking about other companies. There are other games coming out which will definitely take up people's times. Obviously, we're looking forward to SpongeBob coming out soon. And that Ninjala game's been delayed till next month now, June. So that'll be a fun free-to-play one next month. The demo, when I actually got a chance to play it in the training bit before it kept kicking me out, it played well.
Oh, that's good.
So didn't actually get to play a match, but I got to play the training bit. It controlled very well. So Xenoblade Chronicles, it's not a new game.
No.
I have it on the Wii, I never beat it. I'm going to give it another go on the Switch, but for those of you who haven't played this game yet, it's a huge game, it's a great game, you'll have a lot of fun with it, so it'll be one to tide you over, definitely. For people that have played it before, obviously if you don't feel like playing for it again, then obviously this one's probably not for you. But if you enjoyed it, then why not just try it again? This Clubhouse Games one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
It's coming on the eShop. I've ordered the physical one because it was £5 cheaper. And again, this is a perfect lockdown game, I'd say, because it's got loads of mini games that you can play with the family.
Yeah.
Like 51 of them. It's got what looks like a Wii bowling clone as well.
Does it come with like instructions? Because like some of them, like mahjong, I'd love to know how to play mahjong.
I'm sure it will
no
teach
idea.
you. Because like there's things like the poker and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which obviously I know how to play poker, but you don't.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can teach you how to play poker through this, but
Maybe.
and I do love about the Clubhouse Games because we've both got a Switch each.
Yeah.
If you're playing 2-player, you can have the second person just download an app,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
kind of like download play on the DS, so you don't need a copy of the game to play on the same different Switches.
That's so good.
Obviously you can play them on the same Switch, but something like poker,
Because that's cheeky, isn't it?
yeah, you don't want to look at the other person's cards.
Yeah.
So the fact you can use your own Switch with one copy of the game is amazing.
Definitely.
So I think games like that are fantastic for lockdowns, for quarantines, when there's less games coming out, ones that will keep you busy for a long time. And this other one, Bravely Default 2, I've not played the first one, which was on the 3DS or DS, I don't know which, but it had a sequel already, Bravely Second, I believe.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, they're RPGs and they're very long ones, so if this one could obviously be another big time filler. So that's all good. But we've had a lot of recent games come out. We've had Trolls of Manor as well, Animal Crossing, which has been out a month and a half, and you've put over 240 hours into. That's like
I have indeed.
That's like 10 whole days.
Stop it.
So, and you're making a lot of costumes on that, so
Indeed.
make sure you check out our channel to find out her costume videos. So that's just our look at what Nintendo have got out now. So coming out, we can only speculate, but the only ones I'm thinking of right now is we got DLC for Sword and Shield coming out, and Pokemon Shield has been keeping me busy lately. So that's another game, a huge time sink game for you to play. Smash Brothers getting DLC, apparently June. That might get delayed, who knows.
Yeah.
But again, an ARMS character coming to that, plus more DLC. That'll just add interest to that game again.
Do you think maybe they'll release the ARMS character and then they'll tell us the next one?
I hope so, but then again, they want to keep this going till December 2021, 6 characters, which would be like one every 4 months, but that might get delayed now for obvious reasons. But they might just keep it, 'cause it looks like they're going to announce this character the same time they release it, by the looks of it. So they might continue to do that. Like, I mean, I think with Byleth it was like a week before they released him.
Oh, okay, sure.
And Terry was like 2 months before they released him, and Banjo was 3 months before, so there's no consistency really. But again, there's a lot of huge time sink games on the Switch as well as other consoles. I mean, I've recently just ordered Resident Evil 2 Remake, so I can finally play through that. And anyway, talking about Nintendo rest of this year, I'm thinking if they can release Mario 64 Remake along with Sunshine and Galaxy, just if they can get those out there, they're existing games. Obviously, it's still a lot of work to remake a game. You know, a lot of people sometimes say, oh, it's easy to remake a game. I'm not going to say that. I'm not a game developer. I don't know how easy it is or hard it is to make it, especially if you're going to be working from home now and not in an office with other people. That's got to delay the process of making a game.
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially if they've got kids as well.
Yeah, because obviously you've got to look after the kids and communication as well. It's going to be harder to communicate over things if you're not physically there with them. So, but hopefully the fact that these are remakes might make it easier. So I'd love to see these in time for Christmas if they are true. But, oh man, I'm excited by the idea of these remakes. Cool. I mean, yeah, Mario 64, I love that game.
I know.
You know.
So much.
And the rumoured Paper Mario game as well. A back to form one, whether it's a Thousand Year Door remake or whether it is just a new one with Thousand Year Door battle system. I loved Colour Splash, but if it had the battle system of Thousand Year Door, that game would have been amazing, other than just being good. But again, it's been like over 4 years now since nearly 4 years since Colour Splash came out, which is a realistic time cycle for a new Paper Mario. So there's that to look forward to.
Oh, good.
But there's plenty of Nintendo franchises we can speculate on that they can bring out, like Pikmin 4 maybe. But in the meantime, Mario Maker 2's had an update recently. People have renewed interest in that. This is a perfect time to clear out your backlog a bit. I've been doing that as well. And just play the games you've got already. Replay some of them.
And I think I'm going to stick to Animal Crossing for a while.
So anyway, that's what we think of Nintendo's schedule at the minute and what we hope to see. How about you? Let us know in the comments down below what you're playing at the minute, what you're excited for, what you're hoping to see. And make sure you subscribe for plenty more videos to come. So stay safe everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.